Warriors. In case you don't know, Warriors is a book series about wild cats, and it's awesome. There's these battle cats who have like different clans, and they like go to war and stuff, and there's forbidden romances, and it's so fun and cool, and I love it. I've been a big fan of Warrior Cats since I was in middle school, which was quite a while ago. But I remember my first hint of what YouTube had to offer was the wonderful world of animated Warrior Cat videos. Yes! Now, the animated Warrior Cat scene has and is one of the most fun aspects of the fandom. There's amazing AMVs, both old and new, and I love all of them. However, back in the day, there really was only one thing that was on every Warrior Cats fans' mind: an official movie, or like series or something. A retelling of the story we all were so in love with. Give these battle cats new life with the benefit of being fully visual in all of its glory. Unfortunately, that has still yet to actually become a reality, hence why there have been so many amazing fan animations on YouTube. The fans are doing the heavy lifting when it comes to delivering the animated world of Warrior Cats. And way back in the day, there was one series that stood above the rest. SSS Warrior Cats. This anime-style warrior series caught everyone's eye almost right away, and my little middle school brain was blown away by the gorgeous animation and stunning opening. There's no denying the impact SSS has had on the Warriors community. Hell, even today, I still see people using these designs as the main reference point for how these characters should look. Long bang spotted leaf, purple-eyed Ravenpaw, and this reddish shade for Tiger Claw are all common occurrences when people make fan art of these characters. And it's all thanks to the lasting impact SSS has had on the community. So I decided if I'm going to dive back into the world of Warrior Cats, I should take a look at the one that started it all. After all, it's been years since I first saw these videos. Surely they must have plenty of content I can watch by now. So, SSS Warrior Cats takes a long time to get a project finished. Like, a long time. Like, a really long time. In fact, it was to the point that they kept making these videos on their channel, complaining about how often people would ask them about the release of the next video. And on one hand, like, I get it. It can be super annoying when people pester you constantly for the next episode or something. But also, do you need to sound so hostile about it?
Because a lot of people are getting impatient, like, it's been months, why isn't the new episode out, blah blah blah. Imagine having to do this, like I said before, for like 6-7 hours a day, doing nothing but this. It takes a million freaking years. And this is only 2 minutes. 2 minutes of the entire half-hour thing. And this 2 minutes isn't even done.
I specifically remember this one video where they showed what the process of animation is and explained how long these things take to animate. And yeah, animation is hard. Animation is a slow, time-consuming art. And on top of that, they weren't getting paid for this. Back then, there was no Patreon or anything, so these animators had to basically work for free. So there's only 3 episodes so far. But that doesn't have to get me down. Let's really take a look at SSS Warrior Cats, starting with this amazing opening. If you watch anything from this review, I highly encourage you to watch at least this opening. The animation is smooth and stunning. Also, I just love how bright and colorful everything is. Look at these colors, look at her eyes, whoa, look at all that! Even though the song they use is actually the opening for something called DN Angel, I can only attribute this song to Warriors. It's become completely iconic for the series thanks to this opening. Man, I'm hyped. I can't wait to watch an episode. Well, I shouldn't be surprised. Like I said, animation is a time-consuming art, and with something as ambitious as stylistically choreographed as this, it's no wonder it would take a while for the first real episode to drop. Especially since I think they only really had like 2 or 3 animators on their team, but we did get it eventually, so let's check it out. So each episode is split into several parts, so if we put them all together, it would make the runtime for a real episode, approximately at least. But since it took so long for each different part to come out, and apparently there was a lot going on behind the scenes as well, I'll just make sure to reference the parts we're on too. So episode 1, part 1 starts, and can I just say, these backgrounds have always been gorgeous. Look at that. it's beautiful. It does feel slightly weird seeing these beautiful painted style backgrounds behind these cats who use a much more stylistic art style. Stylistic art style. Art words. I'm a professional. We see cats running through the forest, and they all seem to stop right at a river with a big rock next to it. Any Warriors fan would immediately recognize this as Sunning Rocks. We see this cat's face and oh shit, okay, alright, we're fighting, oh gee, it's happening.
Oakhart, how dare you hunted our territory!
Giving credit where credit is due, these lines of dialogue are practically one-to-one with the original books, and Tiger Claw's voice actor here offers one of the best performances out of our cast. Although it isn't quite the voice I pictured for Tiger Claw. I always thought it would be much deeper and rough since Tiger Claw is supposedly super big, but artists' interpretations can differ. What? Speak up, would ya? So the sound mixing is a little all over the place, especially with the vocal performances, and it doesn't seem like this gets any better as time goes on. I don't blame them. Sound mixing is surprisingly hard, at least in my opinion, but it can be a little distracting while watching. Man, it's easy to forget how bloody Warrior Cats is. Not only this animation, but like the story in general. After this quick fight, Red Tail calls the warriors to retreat. We see all these random cats running away, but they don't, like, exist. In the books, ThunderClan only has, like, 12 cats who could be at this fight. I guess it was just to make the Battle of Sunning Rocks look a bit more lively? Ooh, Tiger Claw, you looking suspicious over there. We cut away to ThunderClan's leader, Blue Star, and oh, look at this blue shading thing that's going on here. It's amazing. Oh, this series is so pretty. I love it.
How's Mouse Fur?
Her wounds are deep, Blue Star.
Oh, like, I know getting a good mic is hard and expensive. Hell, I recorded my videos on a potato-ass mic for the longest time, but you can still edit the popping out of the recordings. If Oakhart can sound like he's whispering the whole time, then I think it'll be fine if we lowered the audio on Spotted Leaf over here. I won't judge her actual performance too harshly, or anyone else's for that matter. It was a fun fan project these people were doing for their own entertainment. They weren't professionals, and it's not fair to judge them like they are. In fact, it took a lot of courage just to put your voice out on the internet in general. But I will say, Spotted Leaf here does give one of the most phoned-in sounding performances out of the whole cast. Spotted Leaf has a vision from StarClan and delivers the now iconic line,
Fire alone can save our clan.
"Fuck yeah, let's go!" After the opening, we cut to an orange cat hunting in the forest, but it turns out it was just a dream by our main protagonist, Rusty. Remember what I was saying about the backgrounds looking different? Yeah, it's most apparent here.
Where are you off to, Rusty?
Oh, it's Smudge! He's so cute!
No, really. He caught a robin in there.
My heart.
Hello, Smudge.
Oof, another tin can mic. And it's a bummer it's from our main character too. But at the very least, his performance is pretty stellar. He's really putting his all into it, and that's great.
Fat old Tabby never went into the woods. He's hardly been beyond his own garden since his trip to the vet.
Part 1 ends with Rusty entering the forest. So episode 1, part 1 really was solid. It's a surprisingly long 9 minutes with really well animated fighting choreography and some solid background music and sound effects. It's almost exactly one-to-one with the books too. My biggest gripe is that the cat screeching noises can be a little annoying at times, but for a fan project, that is really impressive. No wonder the Warriors community fell in love with this project. So I started up part 2, and this fade here doesn't really work the way it's supposed to. I think the implication is he vanished into the tree line, but it mostly just looks like Rusty is some sort of ghost cat. If he moved actually behind something, it would have sold the idea a bit better. After exploring around for a little while, Rusty suddenly gets ambushed by a wild cat. Oh god, my ears! Rusty tries to run, but realizing he won't make it in time, he turns around and fights his attacker. After more impressive fight choreography and more ear-piercing cat screeching sound effects, we finally get a good look at our foe, Grandpa. I'll be honest, out of everyone's designs, Greypaw's was always my least favorite. His gray seems too light, more silvery, and his eyes seem too pointed at the corners. It's not bad, it's just not for me. I will say, Greypaw's performance is probably the most professional sounding out of everyone, so great job.
I didn't think it was worth hurting you. You're obviously not from one of the other clans.
The two start to chat, and Greypaw explains the 4 clans of the forest and some more lore of how the warriors live in their clans. Greypaw really hypes up how amazing life in the wild is, and it clearly has an impact on Rusty. Suddenly, Bluestar and Lionheart show up.
You shouldn't be so near the two-leg place, Greypaw.
Wow, that is like the most perfect voice for Lionheart. Bluestar seems impressed with Rusty's hunting and fighting ability. Episode 1, Part 3 starts, and Bluestar offers Rusty to join the clan. And then after 5 minutes of sitting around and talking more about how great it is to be a warrior, they leave and let Rusty think about the proposal. And then part 3 ends. Yeah, it was a pretty boring way to wrap up episode 1, especially since both parts 1 and 2 had some action in it. And even then, during those 2 parts' talking scenes, the characters in camera was still active during the conversations. Part 3 is very still and stagnant. Hell, the funnest part of part 3 is the end credits. Fortunately, parts 2 and 3 were uploaded one day apart from each other, so it wasn't like people had to wait too long to get the ending for episode 1, just to be met with a talking head scene. Episode 2 starts with a bunch of, fake production company logos. The early 2000s, where everyone thought they needed some flashy opening for their YouTube videos. Good times. Rusty is waiting to meet up with Lionheart to agree to join ThunderClan, and he's looking extra orange in this lighting. Huh.
Hello, young one. I've heard a lot about you.
What? What was that? What did you say? Look at this shot. It's amazing. Desktop worthy. So in SSS Warrior Cats, they seem to have magic powers. I was confused at first, but after some thought, I'm super into it. If we're gonna animeify our battle cats, let's give them some superpowers to jazz things up. Something more fun than just bites and scratches all the time, you know? White Storm seemingly has the ability to move like the wind, or control the wind or something, which, I would have thought would be a power for Running Wind, but whatever. Fun fact, Running Wind was my absolute favorite character who wasn't a real important background character. He's my favorite background character. Yo, the song here is such a bop. Also, the fact they run in time to the song is just a mega cool touch. Well done. Rusty proves he's capable of following and keeping up with the others, rounding off episode 2, part 1. So part 2 starts and White Storm just, starts menacing Rusty.
Where's Lionheart?
I killed him.
I don't remember this happening in the books. In fact, I'm pretty sure Rusty made it back to camp before nightfall. I understood jazzing up Rusty's adventure into the woods with anime logic, but this just feels like an odd departure from the narrative. I'm fine with changing up the story, but this doesn't really add anything to the plot. If anything, it just makes me think White Storm is an asshole. Don't do that. No, I like White Storm. I don't want him to be an asshole. All this leads to is a lackluster little fight between White Storm and Rusty that's really dark and kind of hard to see. And then it's lol, we were tricking you. Ha! You thought you were really fighting a crazy serial killer. Ha ha, loser. What a stupid little loser thinking a murdering ass was going to kill us all. Fucking nerd. Finally, ThunderClan. With all of our favorite, well-known ThunderClan warriors none of these people. Who are all of you? One of the main reasons Bluestar asks Rusty to join ThunderClan is because their clan is too small with too few warriors. She says this so many times in these episodes. All these random background cats just go against what Bluestar is saying. My favorite form of White Storm is No Chin White Storm. Time for episode 2, part 3. So apparently there was something up with YouTube and the audio got taken away. It was probably the song they used in the middle of the episode and it probably just got copyrighted. There is a version on YouTube with the audio though, it's just not on the SSS Warrior Cats' channel.
ThunderClan needs more warriors.
She says, addressing a gigantic crowd of ThunderClan warriors. And also, they all look ugly, for lack of a better term. The designs themselves are fine, I suppose. I don't even have any issue with the more unnatural colors. Look at this cutie. No, they're just rushed. Honestly, a lot of this part feels rushed. There's reused animation a lot, especially with the background characters. Like, we see this shot at least 4 times. This thing with Lionheart just doesn't look quite right. Their talking heads get reused a lot too, and it's just weird. The first few parts had different angles and the cats would move around a lot. And I know this scene has a lot of cats in it, but like, hell, they decided it should. If it has too many cats and that's slowing down production and it's making things get rushed, then cut out the background cats. We don't need them anyways, because they never existed in the original books. On top of that, they're all going off-model a lot. It really just doesn't feel the same. Hell, even the backgrounds look lazy. It's all just empty now. I thought we were in a forest. What happened to all the trees? If we were gonna focus on the background cats this much, I wish they would have put more effort into their faces or proportions, especially if we're gonna reuse the same shots over and over and over again. They should have put a little bit more quality control into these characters' faces, because as it is, it's just distracting with how off-model and sloppy they all look, and it really takes me out of the episode. So this guy, Longtail, challenges Rusty's worthiness of becoming a warrior. Rusty agrees to a fight, and that's the end of Part 3, Episode 2. Episode 2 is a real letdown compared to Episode 1. The beginning was fine, but then we deviated from the books a lot to force some half-assed fight scene with Whitestorm, and then the final part just reeks of being rushed out. Parts 2 and 3 were released on the same day as each other too, so I don't know why the quality feels so different between them. This was before they made a bunch of videos complaining about people asking for the next episode too. Like, I'm all for cutting corners when you can. Fuck, I encourage it, actually. Work smarter, not harder. But for how many shots these background characters are center screen, I really wish they had just put a little more effort into them. Finally, Episode 3. Part 1 starts with this little blurb explaining that Yuji, the main art director, left the project at this point. And I also know that after this part, Zing, the other main animator for the project, also left. I don't think there was any bad blood, at least based off of what information I could find. It really just seems like they had bigger plans and had to move on, college specifically being their main reason for leaving the project, which is a bummer, but I totally get it. Good luck with your schooling stuff, both Yuji and Zing, and also everyone else at SSS Warrior Cats. And just like, you know, students in general. Good job, proud of you. Keep it up. Though I found it a tad concerning when reading the description, they admitted this part was rushed out, and just like, why? If this is a passion project, then I would rather you take the time to make it as good as you want it to be. Yeah, I know that could take a while, but I'm already willing to wait for the part to come out for about a year, if not more, so I'm willing to wait. Why rush the project just to deliver a subpar product that you're not happy with? However, it is in high definition. Ooh, wow, so pretty, it fills the screen now. Whoa. They changed Spotted Leaf's design for some reason. She used to be much more orange instead of this faded brown color. It's not bad, just, you know, different. Spotted Leaf tries to help Rusty, but Longtail is a dick and keeps on fighting him. Longtail's ability is to use his tail like it's a hand, basically, which is fun. Oof, you can really see how badly pixelated the background is here. What a shame. I can't tell if it's because the episodes are in high definition now, or if they just are doing something different with the way they're doing their backgrounds, but it's a shame that that was something that was so impressive before, and now it's just mostly distracting. Why are Darkstripe's eyes like that? Holy shit, that's creepy. Hi everyone, I want you to meet my sleep paralysis demon. So Rusty is like, whoa, he has such a long tail, but like, no. Fuck, Lionheart's tail looks way longer than this.
Every warrior should have a power of their own.
Yes, Longtail, let's interrupt this action scene to give the kitty pet a history lesson.
Longtail is a young warrior who has completed his training with constant, excellent feedback.
Oh, they changed Blue Star's voice actress. It's not bad or anything, I was just really fond of original Bluestar's voice. This new actress nails it though, so good job. I don't understand why we've interrupted this fight scene just to have 2 exposition dumps thrown at us. Longtail's history of cats and Bluestar just spelling out Longtail's personality is really unnecessary here.
I had enough of all these unnecessary harms.
Hey, I think Spotted Leaf's voice actress is different too. Huh, good job, you're crushing it. Honestly, this is the voice I think of when I think of Spotted Leaf now. So Spotted Leaf tries to convince Longtail not to be a dick, and then he just doubles down on his dickness and hits Spotted Leaf out of his way.
Hell no, to the no, no, no.
Mouse brain.
What is happening with Mouse Fur here? What are these leaves? Like, it looks like this was copy-pasted in here, and what? Anyways, the two keep fighting, and then Longtail accidentally rips off Rusty's collar. Rusty is able to cut off a piece of Longtail's ear, and when Bluestar tries to tell him to stop, Longtail keeps fighting. And the quality really dips here. Like, it's reused animation and rushed, and it looks off, and I'm sorry. It's just such a shame. All the other fight scenes looked so intricate and beautiful, even that really dark one with Whitestorm. Here, you can just tell how rushed everything is. The backgrounds, the characters, the animations. It's more confusing than anything, and it distracts from the action and from the episode. And the rest of the episode kind of plays out like this too. Like, look at this. What is this? What is happening with Bluestar? I'm making such a big deal about this because I find it super distracting, and I'm disappointed because I know they can do better. It's one thing for the action scenes to be a little rushed through because it's a lot more frames that pass by a lot quicker, but when we're sitting here on this one shot for so long and nothing is moving, it just highlights how half-assed this animation or art is, and I don't understand why, if we're gonna sit here and linger on this shot, why we didn't put more effort into it. Why didn't we clean up this shot so it looked a little bit better? So anyways, Bluestar agrees to make him a ThunderClan apprentice, naming him Firepaw, because damn it, if Fire is going to save the clan, she might as well hedge her bets, right? So fucking my ear was mad bleeding, and then this bitch just put a leaf on it. So apparently this is supposed to be Running Wind, and I'll be honest, I feel like you're doing my boy dirty here. Suddenly, trouble is afoot, and an apprentice named Ravenpaw bursts from the bushes. Then Graystripe and Firepaw run for like 3 miles, supposedly, to get across camp, while Graypaw explains a bunch of shit about warrior life to Firepaw. Seriously, they run like this for so long. Ravenpaw explains that Redtail is dead, and that's the end of part 1. Now, for some reason, part 2 isn't on the SSS Warrior Cat's channel. You can still find it on YouTube though, and Vimeo, apparently, for all the 4 people that use Vimeo. Episode 3 is only 2 parts long, though to be fair, each part is 12 minutes long, which is very impressive. Though I do wonder if they did split it into smaller parts, would they have had the opportunity to refine their animations a bit more? Just some food for thought though. So part 2 starts with Ravenpaw explaining how Redtail was tragically killed, and while he's crying and bleeding out, Graypaw tries really hard to be funny for some reason, but he really isn't. Graypaw, read the room! Ravenpaw passes out, and Tigerclaw materializes into existence, carrying Redtail's body.
He died with honor, struck down by Oakheart.
Oh, well damn it, Tigerclaw's voice actor is different too. However, this new voice is much more close to what I was picturing his voice to sound like. Rusty meets Spotted Leaf, Tigerclaw, and Ravenpaw before Graypaw shows him the rest of the camp. They keep trying to make Graypaw like anime, for lack of a better word, and I know I've been calling this an anime version of Warrior Cats, but at least they've been moving like actual cats would. Now suddenly, Graypaw keeps using his paws like hands, and keeps doing things like this. It's just not for me. I don't like this kind of style. Later that night, Bluestar appoints Lionheart as her new deputy. Then Graypaw shows Firepaw to their den, and they meet Sandpaw. And finally, Firepaw falls asleep for the first time as a clan cat. And that is the end of episode 3, And that has been the last we've seen of SSS Warrior Cats. So clearly there's been a tumultuous life for the SSS Warrior Cat series. I know I harped on the quality a lot, especially for episode 3, and honestly, for a free fan project, it's not awful. It's just, I've seen how it could be, how it used to be. Though to be fair, they also had 2 of the main animators leave the project to go to college. So maybe the animators left behind just struggled with replicating the style they originally had. I would suggest, honestly, you don't need to keep the style. SSS is fun regardless of the quality of the animation or the anime-ness of its style. I would rather see them make a product with a different style if it would help speed up their process, and also help them deliver a product with a level of quality that they want. That's sort of the beauty of SSS Warrior Cats. It's very much a learning process. You can really see how the animators were playing around with different techniques and animation processes. Not just the animators, but also the voice actors too. There's clear progression with the quality of their performances.
I'm only going for a look around. I won't stay long.
How many apprentices are there?
It makes me excited to see how these recasted characters' performances could play out as well. But on top of all that, SSS Warriors is a learning process for the viewer as well. I really started to understand everything that goes into animation by watching these videos. I started to understand in-betweens, lip flaps, lots of different things. And honestly, I could criticize aspects of the animation or the voice acting, but also, look at all of this. They've animated whole episodes. Each vid is between 9 to 12 minutes long. That's insane. That is so much work and effort, and it's all fully voiced with sound effects and background music and everything. I've treated it like a professional animation in my review because, quite frankly, it feels like a professional product. The level of effort that went into making this crazy world of battle cats come to life is awe-inspiring. It is a fascinating look at the world of Warriors' fan animations, regardless of its quality. This was a huge milestone in the Warriors fandom for quite a long time. Still is today, even. Hell, they might not even be done with working on the project. I still half expect an episode to drop out of the blue to this day, though I'm not going to pressure any of the people who work on SSS to keep working on it if they don't want to. Though, if this little teaser we got at the end of the contest results video is anything to go by, then I'm super excited. It looks less like they're trying to copy someone else's style, and they're working on polishing their own look. Ooh, look at all that. Fancy shading and everything. And yeah, that was quite a few years ago at this point, but, you know, I'm willing to hold out. If it means they're gonna make the product they're happy with at a quality they want, I'm willing to wait as long as it takes. While it is disappointing we've only gotten 3 episodes so far, it was quite the adventure to get to see them. The development of the show, the changes of the art style, and the voice actors, it truly is no small feat. And for being such a small team, what SSS Warriors has done is incredibly impressive. I'm sure these videos inspired many other people to try their own hand at animating, including me, because when it boils down to it, SSS Warrior Cats is just inspiring in general. To try our hand at animating and character design and voice acting and background design, SSS Warrior Cats convinced me and many others to try to take that leap into doing something bigger than we thought we could be capable of. Like I said in the beginning, these videos have been a huge point of inspiration for the Warriors fandom. All of the amazing animations we have nowadays might not have existed without you all paving the road for us. So thank you, SSS Warrior Cats. Shout out to my $10 patrons, you're all amazing. Nako, James Dodds, Cool Duck, Andrew, Ramiel, Valhalla Knight, Chamomile, G Extreme, Classy Critic, Surge, Mordred Pendragon, Boulder Off Bros, Great Bar, Caleb Grimm, Pentamenta, Genital War Thunder, Carmen, Order, Jake, Storm, Amber, Lolith, Livid Aries, Matt Frost, Hype Man, and Luno the Evoker. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope you had fun with it. I sure did. It's fun going back into the world of Warriors, and I want to know what are your thoughts and opinions, not only on the Warriors books, but any other Warriors animations, but also especially SSS Warrior Cats. What do you think of the episodes, and the process, and the voice actors, and everything? Any and all thoughts and opinions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.